So the Christian is radical. The Christian is radical. It's so out there for true Christians. True Christians. They're radical. It's so different. It's so different. It's out of this world. It's from heaven. It's from heaven. That's how you can spot the fake Christian. How do you spot the fake Christian? He blends into the world. You can't point him out. The fake Christian likes to hide, likes to blend in with the rest of society, likes to fit in. That Christian will be accepted. That Christian will be applauded. That Christian will be told by unbelievers that you're one of the good Christians. That's a problem. That's a problem. Jesus warned us about that. If all men applaud you and accept you, you should smell something's off. Do you smell gas? Do you smell that? Yeah, there's a faint smell of a... Yeah, that's important. It might be a small smell. It might not smell like the bathroom after you used it. Ooh, right? It might be very faint, but you better detect it. It's getting stronger. Now, I'm sure you smell that now. That is provoking you to action. Something's very wrong. Something's very wrong. If you let that get worse, if you don't address it, if you don't find the source of it and change some things in your house, then change will happen. It'll happen to you before you make the change to it. And what is the change? It's going to be the end of your life. Boom, it's done. You can't undo that. Right? You're on the news, the house is all black and in ashes and it's charred, and you're gone because you didn't respond to the smell the right way. It's just a smell. It's just an odor. But that detection and the response could have saved your life. That warning could have saved your life. So Jesus is telling us, look, this is a sign. This is a odor. Do you smell that? Do you have that? Is this what your life looks like? Are you experiencing this? If you are, then he's telling us that that's not right. Address it. Fix it. And that's not the way to go. You're not going the right way. The house shouldn't smell like gas, like propane tank leaking. And so we have to take heed. Okay, who am I? Where am I? What's these people, this church? What are we looking at? And Jesus helps us to identify, And we can see. We don't have an excuse not to see, not to identify, not to know, because Jesus tells us the only way we would be able to not know is if we lie to ourselves. God is not a liar. He says that himself, so it's true. God is not a liar. God does not lie. We lie to ourselves. We, in the face of truth, lie. We lie against the truth. The truth is looking at us dead in the face, straight in the face, and we say no. We decline it. We disagree with it. We say, that's not true, or that's not what it says, or it actually means. And so we have all these tactics and games that we play. And so, yeah, those are weapons too, right? But they hurt you. You think you're winning. You think you're shredding the truth. You think you have your knife and you're cutting the paper. But the truth is not like in the paper, right? The paper is just telling you it's a messenger, so you can shoot the messenger. But if the messenger says, hey, there's an army coming, they're coming to destroy you, yeah, kill the messenger. That doesn't change the army that's behind him. But that's how we live. That's what we do. We deny the truth, and that's very foolish. There's nothing you can do against the truth. But Well, so there's nothing you can do to change the truth, but you can change the outcome by how you respond to the truth, right? You can't dismiss the truth. You can't bury the truth because it's going to be true, right? You burn the paper, you cut the paper, but the truth is still there, right? The principles and the laws of the universe and how life works, you can't change that, right? You can throw away the book. You can return the book, sell the book. But if that was the truth, then the book was just a messenger. It was communicating to you what's above your head, what's in you, what's around you, what life is. You destroy the book, none of that changes. Right? It's still the truth. So the fool continues to play his games, continues to develop their wittiness and how clever they are. And it works. It works in a classroom. It works on a stage, right? If you're a comedian, it works with the people that you fool, right? The people that you lie to, and the people that accept your lie and encourage you and coax you and pat you on the back and say, you're a good liar. Lie to us again, right? Tell us some more. He's the best comedian out here, right? But what good does that do? What good does it do? And you know, sometimes that is the behavior. Laughter, not because you're strong, not because it's actually funny, just because you're lazy. It's a laziness. It's a laziness. Instead of changing what's going to happen, instead of addressing the truth, because it's so fearful, so terrifying, it's a way of hiding. Right? Let's laugh instead of working, instead of finding where's the gas leak. Let's just laugh. It addresses the nervousness because you can't sit with it, the anxiety. If you laugh, it relieves the anxiety, but the anxiety is a signal to tell you something's wrong. Right? Address what's wrong. Address the fact that you're not living according to the truth. You're not obeying the truth. Yeah, but it would take too much to obey the truth. I don't wanna go to church. I don't want to read the Bible. I don't want to change my ways. I don't want to give up all this. But I do know that if I don't, that there are consequences. But I don't want to. And so it's a big hill to get over. So that's why the lazy, they don't go over. It's the diligent, right? Those that have courage, the strong people worship God. They're the ones that praise God. They're the ones that give their lives. They're the ones that can go over that hurdle, over that mountain. Yeah, because it takes a lot to accept the truth. Because truth doesn't compromise. Truth is not deceived. You can deceive your neighbors, your friends, you can make them laugh. But truth, it demands a response. It demands conforming to it. You have to join its side, his side. Jesus is the truth. And when you come over, you do have to leave some stuff behind. Truth does not accept lies. And so, yeah, you have anything that's a lie, you can't continue. But we love our lives. We love our lives. We've grown up with our lives. They're like little pet dogs. They're so cute. You know, we raised them since they were a puppy. They were always with us through thick and thin. And so we have a relationship with lies. Yeah, that lie got you out of that trouble, didn't it? That lie, helped you feel better in this moment, didn't it? That lie. So we heap ourselves up with lies, but it helped you at first, and then it became a burden. Because now, right? So then now you have pride in play. That's keeping you in bondage. You like the lie at first, but now you have to live under it. It's your slave master. You don't really want to live according to that because it's a lie. But pride would demand you be consistent. Don't break ties with that. No, you got to be loyal to your lies. You said this. You said this about yourself. That's who you are, right? You're great, aren't you? You're rich, aren't you? Right? You talk like this, don't you? Right? So you feel like you have to keep it up, even though that's not the real you, even though that's not what you really believe. But what's the alternative? The only alternative to lies is the truth. And yet to turn to the truth would require you break all this. But you've built up your identity. It's interwoven with lies. And so that's why it requires a total transformation. It's not easy. The conversion is supernatural. God delivers us. God, without the Spirit of God, without His mercy, without His grace, you cannot be saved. It's only by His will, by His grace, by His power, you can be saved. You try to do it yourself, your lies will pull you right back. Your addictions will pull you right back. All that sin nature, all the nostalgia, all the things that you're familiar with, they'll call you and they'll pull you, they'll seduce you, they'll draw you right back. So that's why you see many people, they can't even start. Many people, they start, they can't continue. Yeah, if it's not by the Spirit of God, by the hand of God, you cannot be saved. You must be born again by the Spirit of God. And then it takes a maintenance by the Spirit of God. So we must abide. It takes diligence. It's an active work. You have to be daily active in your faith, knowing that, your former slave masters, they're hunting for you. They want you back. They continue to knock on the door. Sin lies at the door. Sin lies at the door. It wants you to get out of line. It wants you to come out of the house and catch you not abiding in the Lord. And so we have to live in God. We have to remain in Him. It takes much to be saved. And then it takes much to maintain your salvation. And those who do not respect that, we see the evidence of it. So those are warnings for us. Look, there's those types of ground. Do you want to be that? No. If not, then respect how much you need to put in the effort, the sweat, the maintenance, the conscious effort, the focus. And so people don't hear that because they don't accept that, because they're lazy and they're married to their laziness. They agree with their laziness. They haven't disagreed with their laziness. They haven't changed their perspective, changed their perspective of it. It is not odious to them. They don't hate sin. So that's why double-mindedness is very dangerous, because double-mindedness, that means you have two heads, two minds. So yes, you can like righteousness, you can like Jesus, you can like church, but do you hate sin? Because sin loves you. Do you love it back? You have, right? You've lived a life of, you've had relationships with lies and with sin, but you must break up. You must break up with the lies and the sin. And you know how people do relationships. Sometimes they want to keep their old relationships as they start new ones. And you see how that ends up in a lot of drama, a lot of commotion and contention. It's not successful. You can't sustain that. And Jesus says something very similar. You can't have two masters. You can't have two masters, Jesus or the devil. And so you can like the truth. Of course you like it, because it's the truth. It's powerful. And you want power. You want to walk in power. You want to walk in wisdom. but at the same time, you also want to steal, right? So, yeah, it's like people who, yeah, you want to buy some stuff and steal some stuff. And God says, no, be a thief. Just be a thief. Or be honorable and righteous and don't steal. Don't do both. And yeah, that's what we do. Right? We like the truth. But it's different. It's very different from loving God and hating unrighteousness, hating sin. People think there's no difference. Yeah, why do you have to be so extreme? They call it extreme. I can love God and love the people, the culture, just live and let live and get along. I can fit in. I could be accepted by everyone. I could do what they do. I don't have to stop what they're doing. I don't have to separate myself from them and what they do, even though that's what the Bible says. And so, because they don't agree wholeheartedly, when they come to the verses in the Bible that says to separate yourself, they won't see it. They won't hear it. It won't register. It'll just go in one ear, out the other. I can't understand that. There's no space, there's no room for it to be received. And so that's why it's impossible. You cannot be a Christian. You cannot be a Christian still loving the world, still having it in you, still having a space for it, being mindful of it. Yeah, because the opportunities are going to present itself to you and you're going to go. And some people think they're all right and righteous, and until someone comes with an offer, say, hey, why don't you sin? No, I would never sin. I'm a Christian. Well, what if I give you $10? $10, get out of here. What do you think I am? You think I accept bribes? What about 100? 100. Stop fooling around. Yeah, they don't end the conversation because the conversation goes like this. What about $200? 200. Stop joking, right? Yeah, why don't you leave? Why are you still talking to this person? Yeah, because he keeps making the deal sweeter. What about 500? 500? I wouldn't do it for 500. Right? So the length is changing. At first you said, no, I don't take bribes. Now you're like, 500 is too low. And you don't even notice. Oh, you're slipping. You're slipping. Okay, what about $1,000? $1,000 just to do this one sin. No, I'm not a sinner. I'm not a sinner. I'm righteous. 5,000. Now 5,000. No. Oh, you just thought about it. Okay, what about 10,000? 10,000? Yeah, but no. What would my pastor think of me? What would my church congregation think if I did that? No. What about 100,000? 100,000. Oh. Now for 100,000, I'll get back to you on that. Right? Yeah. And now you're in trouble, and you're gonna call him up. Hey, that deal, is that still on the table for 100,000? Yeah, you're gonna take it. You're gonna take it because you're not settled in your heart. You don't hate sin. It's not a settled account. It's not a closed door. You've chosen to go to church. You acknowledge, oh, that's good, but you haven't shut the door. You still want to keep it open. You still want to keep some relationships. You still want to entertain some of this and some of that. Not respecting that it takes a total commitment, change of direction, and a certain depth. You got to go in. People don't want to go that far. They want to keep their toes a little bit back here. I don't want to completely lose access. And so, God has us make great claims. Oh, no, I don't, we don't need life insurance. No, we don't need a retirement plan. Oh, whoa, hey, but just in case, don't you want to, like, just in case? What do you mean, just in case? And some people, right, make this decision. Some people make that decision. That's true. Well, just in case. Do you understand that that's doubt? And that doubt and faith, they can't have the same seat. You can't have bitter water, fresh water coming out of the same place. You can't. Right? But they say, no. We can play this game. I can have faith, but then I can have a backup plan. I mean, just in case I'm not as faithful, or, maybe God's not as faithful. I mean, I wouldn't say that out loud. Right? But let's just keep this door open. Yeah, we do that because it's hard, because that's what everyone else around you does. All your family, all your coworkers, they do that, think that, believe that, and they support you. If you make that decision, they'll say, we understand. And thank you for lowering the standard of what Christianity is. We don't have to believe that far, be that extreme. And so that's going to be disappointing to God. Oh, you were coming along. Oh, but you got snagged. Oh, you couldn't keep coming. Oh, you couldn't continue to grow in faith all the way. And so, yeah, that's what God tells us. He lets us know you do have to continue to follow. You'll be led on, and then you'll be invited to higher, but you do have to go. You don't have an option to say, I'm good here, I'm good now. I'll just park here, and I'll see you in heaven. No. You got to keep going. Oh, this far, I didn't know. Oh, it's to my knees. I mean, I was, when it was at the ankles, I was already uncomfortable, but now it's to the knees, I'm turning around, right? So no, you got to go. God is looking for those who are going all the way. And so he's merciful in that, he doesn't take the Israelites out of Egypt and straight to war. Okay, you're not ready for that. I know what you're ready for, what you're capable of. But when they do come to the border of the promised land, yeah, they were on a schedule. Okay, so were you working on what you were supposed to be working on back at that level, back at that place, back at that time? Because if you were, now that we're here at this critical juncture, at a testing time, you're going to pass or fail. And there's no need to complain about that, because we respect that that's what it's going to be at the end of our life when we see God. And we don't like testing. We don't like pop quizzes. Hey, don't test me. Don't prove me. As if I have to show my work, as if I have to actually be what I said I am. Right? So we have to reject the ways of the world that accepts lies, accepts darkness, that accepts hypocrisy. Yeah, you can say what you are. You can claim things. You can take a picture, right? In a uniform, in a costume, in sunglasses, with a fake mustache, with fake hair, with fake whatever, because it's a fake picture. It's a fake identity. But people will play. People will play along. People enjoy it. People like the darkness. People like that there's no truth. They celebrate it. Fantasy, right? Stories, fiction, movies, and it's blurred. The lines are blurred, right? Where does the movie end? No, my life is a movie. My identity is a movie. My life is a movie. We emulate them. We strive to be like them. We love the characters, and we get confused. Right now, we say that we know, oh, it's just a movie, but we don't really understand. We don't know how deep the confusion has gotten. Because we think ourselves to be movie stars, to be heroes. And the news, right, it even tells us stories like that. Oh, let's tell you about the hero that saved this dog. Right? They want to frame it in the superhero language. Yeah, let's understand life in these fictional terms. And so when we come to Jesus, who demands truth and sobriety to cut off all the foolishness, all the games, all the playing with the lies and the pretending, we're scared. Right? Whoa. Right? No one The world, life, has never demanded this of me. To be this upright, to be this honest, to be this forthcoming, to be this transparent, this vulnerable. Hey. No, give me some kind of shade and shelter, some umbrella, some place to hide in, some place to retire and just relax. So that's another example of that I'm talking about, where people go to church, they're on their best behavior, they don't sin, they talk nice, and they're cordial, and they can, endure some things, suffer some things. Oh, that was disrespectful, but okay. And then they go home, and they're a totally different person, and they're disrespected, and they're going to disrespect back. Whoa, hey, you weren't acting like that in church. Yeah, at home, you're a different person. You've taken that off. Oh, time to hang that hat. I'm done playing that. And so we don't like that. God is actually demanding that we be one person. But when you're home, you should still be the same person. Hey, no, that's unreasonable. You expect me to be like that all day? That's too much. You're not making sense. I can't even understand that. I can't imagine even trying to be like that. That's way too much. You're asking too much of me. And so what God tells us we should be, what God expects, we flat out reject, because we haven't rejected the world. We still accept it. We still want to hide in it. We still want to have one leg in the mud and one leg in church and expect to be saved, expect to be accepted by God, because we don't give ourselves wholly to God. We're reading other books. We're listening to other speakers instead of just Jesus, just your church, just your pastor. No, you also want to listen to that comedian, that person. And so when you get to the part in the Bible that says, oh, you need to be without wrinkle, without spot, blameless, that's a high expectation. Who can do that? And you forget, no, God, with God, nothing is impossible. You forget that. Right? No, there's no God. God's not here to help me. God's not with me. God's not there waiting for me. God's not encouraging me. It's impossible. All I see is impossibility. There's giants in the land. Right? You brought us here to die. God is evil. And so they reject it. They can't hear it. They don't accept the standard. They don't accept the calling. The call is to be perfect, to be a perfect Christian. And yet they don't want that. They don't want true Christianity. They want virtual Christianity. They want their own image, their own idea, their own standard, their own picture that they've painted. Yes, my version of Christianity, as if that's valid, because God, right, he wrote the 10 Commandments on a stone and gave it to them. He said, no, this is the law. You don't write your own. You accept God's law. God created the earth. He sets the standard. He calls the shots. He makes it what it is. And you want to receive that, because that's the actual way the world works. Those are the actual standards. That's the actual terms and conditions. That's the law. That's how you'll be judged. Right? So, yeah, anyone who's serious will actually go to the official documents. Right? No, let me see what's really required. Right? We don't play those games in the natural. When someone says, oh, these are the terms and conditions, you need this to apply, you need this to pass, you're not going to tell your friend, hey, why don't you, I don't like those standards, they're too high, I want to get accepted, so why don't you write a different set of standards and I'll live according to that, right? And then maybe they'll accept me. No, but right, that seems so silly, that's so out there, like that's really dumb. No, you would read their terms and conditions, because you're applying to their place, that university or that place of employment. Yeah, we wouldn't even think of asking our friend, hey, you tell me what the job description is and what the requirements are, and I'll try to meet that, and I'm sure they'll accept me. Right? That's very strange. And yet that's what we do with God. Right? Let me write my own standard I'm living up to my own standard. I'm good. Who are you to tell me? Because according to my standard, and God says, what are you doing? That's very strange. Your ways are very strange. Who does that? Who does that? So God's justified. He's so merciful that he sends help. He continues to send messengers and prophets to you to tell you this is the truth. Walk you in it. He sends you consequences and results of your actions to let you know you're wrong. Right? Your ways are reaping this. You're wrong. And if we don't humble ourselves, we won't hear God. We won't see, oh, corrections here. Oh, I can have my work be corrected. I can have the correct answer. We don't see correction as correct. You say, no, you're wrong. Who are you to tell me? So, yeah, people don't want to even start. The Christian life is so high. The demands are so high. The standard is so high. And that's all they see. Oh, you're harsh. Right? But the true Christians that can humble themselves, they enter in, they see the other side of that. They say, hey guys, no, come up. Come on. Caleb and Joshua. They say, let's fight. Because they see the other side. It's not just high demands. It's not just a lot of effort. There's reward with it. There's reward. And so what kind of man has that mindset? What kind of man is able to take those steps up to that perspective and see all that? The one who takes the steps, level 1, level 2, level 3, who's obedient in the small things, who tells the truth in his heart, even before you speak to anyone. The thoughts you have in your heart, the decisions you make in your heart, and the small matters. Someone stole your piece of candy, right? And and what do you do in your mind about it? Should you hate that person? Is it right for you to hate him? Is it right for you to steal his? Right? Do you take 2? Is that right? Or do you take 1? Right? Yeah, it's still wrong that you stole, but how unjust are you going to be? Well, he shouldn't have done that anyway. It caused me emotional pain. I should take his whole jar. That's just. And what do you do in your mind, in your actions, around your home, in your neighbor, with your neighbors, with your family? What do you do with your speech? Right? What do you do at level 1, level 2? If we can't be honest at these small levels, then you can't come higher and higher and higher. So it's cumulative. Right? So as you're honest in this thing, then God says, you can also be honest here. You can also deal right here. And he invites you further and further and higher. So the men who can do that, they get to a height. They get to see more and agree with God's heart more. So they get to be one with him more. They're invited deeper into the heart of God. So then they get to have perspectives that are very courageous, right? That is excited and willing to go to war. That know and understand, hey, guys, God is a rewarder. God is a rewarder. And the other people can't hear that because they have not obeyed the small things. That's stage 1, stage 2. They haven't seen for themselves and tasted and seen that the Lord is good because they refuse to be honest in the small things. But if they were, they would see, oh, there is a reward for honesty. There is a reward for righteousness. There is a reward for denying myself and agreeing with God rather than myself. Let me continue. But because they don't even start. They don't even do the small things. They can't go on to the higher things that lead to being valiant men, right? Who are willing to go to war and put down their lives. And so later on, as Moses is leading the people, they get to experience that in war. They go to war, they take the spoils because they won the war, they divide the spoils, and then they get Moses' attention, and he says, what's this? And they bring extra. Oh, why are you bringing extra? Oh, this? We just counted our men, and we realized not one of us died. Yeah, but count the men again. Are you serious? No, that can't be. That's the same number that we went to war with. And so we fought these people with swords, we killed them, and we came back with the same number. None of them killed us. Wait, war is dangerous. People die in war. You cannot expect people not to die in war. That's count the people again. Same number? Wow. Yeah, that's a miracle. We acknowledge the miracle. We acknowledge God, the goodness of God today, how great God is. So it's possible. This is possible. Okay, so now that's the standard. That's the standard, because you just saw. You're not supposed to die. No, you can't expect that. That's unreasonable. People die in war. No, let people die. That's expected. And so that's how we live. Right? In any endeavor. You live life, yeah, no, you're going to get cuts. You're going to get a Band-Aid. You're going to get headaches. You're going to lose a limb. You're going to have surgery. You're going to get dementia. You're going to have to get spinal replacement surgery. You're going to have to get, the bypass surgery. You're going to have to. That's life. You live and you lose limbs and you lose blood and you get high blood pressure, sugar levels. That's, But God is saying, no, you go with me. You refuse to go anywhere. If I don't go with you, you don't want to go anywhere, do anything, unless it's with God, then these are the results you're going to get. And so we're afraid to agree with that. We're afraid to accept that as true, even though God is saying, this is true. This is what you can expect. This is life from now on, now that you know me. If you don't see these results, then you have to acknowledge something. And what was it? What was it? After they fought that war and nobody died. Right? So now they know. Okay, so wow, this is war for us, for the people of God. The next time they war, people die. And so now they're sensitive. Now they know, wait, this is below the standard. The standard is none of us have to die. We don't have to die. If we die, we can acknowledge now something's wrong. We don't have to say that's normal. No, something's wrong because we believe in God. We're people of God. And so that's the honest and true Christian. We live this life, and when something goes wrong, we don't say, oh, that's how it is. Yeah, the unbelievers will encourage you. The unbelievers will accept that. They'll say, that's right. That's right. No, we don't agree with them. No, we're supposed to be a standard. We're supposed to be apart. We're supposed to be a city on a hill that they see. That's so high up. How'd you build a city up there? How are you living up there? How are you living so high? It's supposed to be a mystery to them. They're supposed to wonder at the success and the results that you see. Yeah, they're supposed to desire that. I want to be there too. How do I get there? And that's how you invite them into the faith, because of a different life that you live, not the same life. Right? So, but that requires a Christian that's honest. But that's hard. Why? Because it's easier to just accept failure, right? Because that's laziness. It affirms your laziness. See, I don't have to put in more effort. I don't have to strive, pray more, and find out what's wrong. I don't have to acknowledge that I did wrong. That would hurt my pride. No, but the Christian that loves God more than himself would say, no, God is not a liar. God is not unfaithful. I'm unfaithful. I do wicked. Let me search it out. God, help me search this out. Where did I go wrong? What did we do? Right? And so that's what happened to the Hebrew people. They went to war. People died. They said something's wrong. And they found out what was wrong. They found out the problem. They addressed the problem. It smells like gas in the house. Oh, that comes from somewhere. You should check this, right? Turn it off. And now it won't smell like gas. Now you're not in danger. Now you won't die. Right? Now you won't have that potential of a catastrophic death and failure. You've saved your life, many lives. And so that's the Christian life. If we can have the right sense, right perspective, right standard, and agree with God's standard, then yeah, that's what God calls us to. But who can do that? Who can do it? Because you have to make claims. You have to tell people. You have to tell the unbelievers, this is what I'm living up to. This is the standard. And now, right? Now you got to put your, what do you call it? Your hand where your mouth is. Prove it. Now you got to live it out. And so that's why many don't. No, I don't even want to say it. I don't even want to claim it. Because, yeah, there's going to be, okay, now let's see. Let's see. And so it takes courage. It takes courage. You got to be brave to live a Christian life. You got to be all in. Yeah, no, don't get the retirement plan. Don't get the insurance. But what if something goes wrong? Yeah, what do you believe? What do you believe? So God is making divisions. God is saying, no, put your money down, right? Put your life down, right? Really commit. Do you really believe? And so, yeah, when they go to war, outnumbered, they have to go. They have to commit to going out there and say, you know what? We're going to call on God. We're going to call on God. No. Scatter. Find a cave. Run and hide. That's more secure if you live by the sight and not by faith. But faith says, no, put the praise team at the front. Right? Let us sing songs to God. No, don't bring the instruments out to war. You know, that's what we do. We live a life of faith. We depend on God. We're going to sing and play to God, and God's going to send down, right, hailstones and fire and destruction on your enemies. And you're going to worship God. All the land, all the earth is going to recognize and know God because of the Christians, of those that were able to stand in faith and say, no, God is real. There is a God. And God looks for that man. It's like an antenna, right? Oh, it's like the lightning is going to hit that at the highest point. Yeah, so who's going to draw God down here? Who's going to make sure that the will of God is done on earth? It takes an honest and a brave Christian that says, no, God is real. God will prove himself strong. But will you stand your ground? Will you stand in faith? Will you live by faith daily? Continuing. It doesn't seem like it. Oh, is my prayers doing anything? Oh, I don't see. Yeah, you might not see everything, but do you believe? Will you continue to press in and break through and see the people of God break through? You got Jacob and Phares, or Perez. Jacob, he was born second, but he continued to press through. Phares, he overcame in the womb. Yeah, people who are going to break through and overcome. Yeah, you might start disadvantaged. You might start at a disadvantage. You might start behind. But who's going to overtake? Who's going to overcome? Press in. Press in. The woman with a 12 years issue of blood, no, she pressed through and she got Jesus. She was able to touch Jesus. She was able to taste and see. Yeah, and you ask her, you interview her, no, she's going to have no regrets. No regrets. The people of God have no regrets. Once you find God, once you live that life of faith and break through, yeah, none of the men of God have regrets about the life they've lived. All the unbelievers do. And so it's clear what life we ought to live. Yeah, there's only lies, lying to yourself, living an unfaithful, unbelieving life, saying that the bad life is good, and then there's the actual good life. Though it may be hard, though it might require much, there's much satisfaction, joy, real fruit, real nutrition, real growth, real success. in one place only, in Jesus Christ alone, and in full agreement, a life lived out in Christ Jesus. So continue that today. If you have not started, start today. Call out to him. Get baptized in the water, in the Spirit. Find a godly church, a healthy church with healthy, godly leadership. Submit to Jesus Christ. Commit your life to living for him today and the rest of your life. In Jesus' name.